Hello and welcome to another stream. My name is Ray and it is Learning Korean with Ray, day 226. Okay, so yesterday we finished the vocabulary of lesson 24 and today we'll do a little review and then we'll start into the grammar. So let's do it. Okay, so we have 24 words ready to be reviewed. Let's go. Okay, Korean layout. Okay, there we go. To be hot. Wait a second. 뜨겁다, yeah. What?
뜨겁다.
Okay, wow, the space. For some reason I added the space there. To feel. To feel. It was. Yeah, I know. 느끼다.
느끼다.
John?
전.
차가다. 차갑다, of course.
차갑다.
중학교.
중학교.
Since. 이래.
일에.
A short time. 잠깐. 친. I can't remember the second syllable. Chin. Damn, I can't remember it.
친절하다.
친절하다. Yeah, okay.
친절하다.
To include. 포함하다.
포함하다.
A moment. 잠시. To fall behind. 뒤처지다.
뒤처지다.
There we go. To be quiet. Jung. 조용. 조용하다. 조용하다. After, later.
후.
Just before. 직전. 깊다. 달다. 이내. 친절하다. Ooh. Oh, that's a word that I've learned a long time ago. 공장? Is it 공장? No. Okay, then I don't know.
제공하다.
제공.
제공하다.
번호.
번호.
We had Chiuda and Giuda. This one is Giuda.
치우다,
Okay. To be turned on. Kyojida.
켜지다,
제공하다.
제공하다.
Jiku.
직후.
Tuda.
두다.
Okay. That's it. Yeah, so that means we have completed our vocabulary for now, and now we go into the website where we learn something about the different time words before, after, time relations, time whatever. Okay, let's start. In lesson 11, you learned a wide variety. Let's just check. Last Dung An for a certain amount of time. This week, this month. Okay. You learned a wide variety of different time words that you can use in sentences. In that lesson, I said there were two more words that are very important when talking about time. John and who. In the lesson, I said I would teach you those two words sometime later. Well, this now later. You know, one little thing before I continue. Very often in this whole Korean learning project, since starting with that website, we had these situations where I come across a sentence in one of the grammar lessons here, and it was saying, okay, now you have learned this and that. There's more, but that's coming later. So a lot of stuff, yeah, that's coming in a later lesson. I will teach you that later. Later on, you will learn more about that thing and so on. So always talking about later. That was 100% of the time in the first half of the project, or like last 90% of the project. But in the last 1 or 2 months, we are starting to see the other perspective, that we reach one of those later lessons and we read, you remember back then in that lesson long time ago? There I mentioned you will learn something in a later lesson, and that's now. So finally, that's a little sign that we have gone a long way, and we are now seeing those things from another perspective. So that's a good sign. Okay. In this lesson, you will learn how to use the words John and who, as well as some other similar words. Let's get started. Before or ago. John. The word John translates to before or ago depending on where it is used. When placed after any indication of time. Some examples. It has the meaning of ago. Okay? For example, 2 seconds ago. Yeah, so now, what number do you use for seconds again? I think Sino-Korean. I think it's Sino-Korean. Let me check really quickly. It's coming. Numbers. Seconds, Sino-Korean. Okay, I was correct. Only hours is pure Korean. Okay, so we have Ichochone. Ichochone, 2 seconds ago. Or Obunjone, 5 minutes ago. Here we have Yol. This is a pure Korean number because we are talking about hours. So Yol Shiganjone. Here we have the Sino-Korean word for day. So this one is Sail-jone. Okay, anyways. I typically write the word instead of the numeral when referring to an hour to see why. Okay, because I guess with pure Koreans, it's pure Korean numbers, it's a bit more common to write them out. But with Sino-Korean numbers, you only write the numeral. Okay, notice that A gets added to John because it's referring to a time. Now you can use those words in sentences very intuitively. I met my brother 2 weeks ago. 저는 2주 전에 남동생을 만났어요.
저는 2주 전에 남동생을 만났어요.
The clouds cleared up 5 minutes ago. 구름은 5분 전에 걷었어요.
구름은 5분 전에 거쳤어요.
Okay. When John is placed after a verb, it translates to before. After a verb, okay, after a verb. The verb is at the end of the sentence. How can it be after a verb? Interesting. When you want to use John like this, you must add key. Okay, so it's like an attachment to the verb. I see, I see. 제가 먹기 전에 Okay, so now it looks like we have the first time where we actually use 2 verbs in one sentence, right? Before I did something, a verb, I did another thing, another verb. Before I ate, I finished my homework. Okay, a few very important things before I say anything else. There's a reason why gi or key is added to the stem of a verb. Adding key to the stem of a verb is a topic I cover in detail in lesson 29. Okay. Hi, I see SSSSS. Welcome to the stream. Another thing, you can essentially add any sentence to the verb stem. What? You can add any sentence to the verb stem gi jone grammatical form, and it will have the same meaning of before this happened. Okay, yeah. I guess this one is, for example, the beginning of a sentence, and then you say, before I ate, I did that and that. You could say something like, the country of Canada becomes a so sovereign sovereign state. Kichone. What? You can add any sentence. Okay, so we can put a complete sentence and since the verb of that sentence is at the end of that sentence, then we can attach the thing that we attach here, and then we can say another sentence. So before, not only I ate, but before Canada became a sovereign state. Watching for your StarCraft stream, not so much into Korean. Yeah, ICSS. I know most of the people who follow me obviously followed because of StarCraft, but I'm still learning Korean every day and I want to keep doing it. StarCraft will come again on Friday, and maybe also Saturday, and definitely now that I say this, yeah, Sunday, yeah, never mind. Friday and Sunday. Friday and Sunday is always StarCraft time, and very important information, I have vacation starting next week. So we have the Christmas time, and I don't have to work next Monday, for example. So this is the last week I'm working, so there will be more StarCraft even during the week in the next week. Of course, there's also Christmas, so on the 24th and 26th I'm not at home. But for example, the Monday, 21st, 22nd, Tuesday, and so on, I will also probably stream some StarCraft. Good, healthy effort. Good luck with your side project. Thanks. Yeah, so Friday, Sunday, definitely StarCraft, and then Monday or Tuesday, one of those days for sure, maybe both days even. Okay. Yeah, let's continue here. Before Canada became, yeah, okay, that's what I just said. Of course, that is a terrible example because in English the verb doesn't come at the end of the sentence. Yeah. You are now ready to create two clause sentences. Exactly. Up to this point, we have dealt with sentences having only one clause, meaning one subject, one object, and one predicating verb or adjective. To illustrate, in the following sentences, subjects are colored red, objects are colored blue, and preceding verbs or predicating verbs or adjectives are green. Wow. Adverbs and other parts of the sentences are not colored. Okay. I love you. Okay, so verb is the predicate of the sentence here in the end, and then we have a subject and an object. Here we have even a question. Yeah, okay. However, there are grammatical principles in English and Korean that allow us to create more than one clause. Each clause is able to have a subject, object, and also a verb or adjective. A sentence with more than one clause could therefore have more than one subject, object, or verb adjective. For example, when I go home, my mom will be waiting for me, and so on. I think we all understand the concept of having a sentence with two clauses, right? The grammatical rules of a Korean sentence with two or more clauses are similar to those with one clause. However, when a sentence has two clauses or more, the particle nin cannot be placed on the subject on both clauses. Instead, it can only be attached to the subject of the main clause. Okay. The main clause of a sentence is a clause that is expressing the main idea of the sentence. So, when I go home, my mom, I guess this one is the main, or this one is the main clause here, or this one. One way to find the non-main clause, referred to as the subclause for the remainder of this lesson, is by looking for the part of the sentence that tells us when, where, why, how the main idea is happening. When I go home, yeah, so this is the subclause telling us when the main idea that my mom is waiting is happening. Main clause, my mom is waiting. When will this happen? When I go home. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's pretty clear, right? We don't need to read every single example sentence, I think. I think I'm good at knowing which one is the main clause and which one is the subclause. Notice that if you eliminate the subclause, the main clause still makes sense. However, if you eliminate the main clause, you're left with an incomplete sentence. Yeah, that's basic stuff for any language. We learned that in English, and I learned this in German as well. Good old Hauptsatz und Nebensatz. Main sentence and, yeah, I guess sub-sentence. I don't know. Let's go back to key journée to see how these rules apply. In the following sentences, before my mom came, I ate rice. Which is the main clause? I ate rice. I ate rice is the main idea. It's a perfect... Wow. So I see we have 3 viewers here. Just a quick question. Is this concept clear for everyone here? This concept of if you see a sentence like this, before my mom came, I ate rice, can you immediately see which one is the main clause and which one is the subclause? I'm not sure if it's like general knowledge or if just I know it and for other people it's a bit harder, but I definitely instantly know. I don't know why, but maybe it's just common general knowledge. Then I will just go over this part a bit faster here, because it looks like he's putting in a lot of effort to explain which one is the main clause and which one is the subclause. Okay. Okay, so now he's talking about how nin and iga can be used in these sentences with a separate line here. Hi Flo, welcome to the stream. Okay, yeah, well, let's see. Notice that nin is attached to the subject of the main clause. Yeah, I guess that. The reverse would be incorrect. Okay. However, placing this on the both subjects is acceptable. Okay, so the info we get from all of this is don't put nin to the subclause subject. That is, it is not necessary to place nin on the subject of the main clause. Place on the subject of the main clause has the same effect of adding subject with one clause. Okay. It's all completely normal. Here an example. This is all stuff that we have learned before. When to use nin and when to use iga. Nin in or iga. For example, if we just experience something, we use iga. If we compare something, we use nin or in. That's all previous knowledge. Here one example. Before my friend came, Chinguga. So this one, before my friend came, is a subclause here. It cannot stand by itself. So here we have to use the ga. There's no it's not possible, it's incorrect to use in or nin. And then we have the main clause here, and here we can use nin or here we can use ga. So the main clause can use both, subclause always ga. So what's the difference here? before I read further, I'm just seeing this now. So again, gar can be used when we just realize something, when we just experience something. Before my friend came, I went to the bank. I went to the bank. Not really a lot of experiencing going on there. Before my friend came, I went to the bank. Okay, but I also don't see any comparison here. Remember, or at least I guess this is not about comparing the subclause to the main clause. It's comparing the main clause with something that was said before or is implied by the context. So maybe before the sentence someone was mentioning that he went to the bank or that he went to buy groceries, and I am comparing to that I went to the bank before my friend came. So maybe that would be a comparison thing. But let's read. Okay, Flo said something. In Nin versus Iga is one of the hardest things to get, I think. Okay. Yeah, could be. I always just have these Iga, just experience, just realize something, and Nin comparing or general statement. So those are the things that I know right now. Maybe I'm forgetting something, but those concepts, I think I have them. I know them. I have them in my head. There could be a difference between the two sentences. If the context allowed for it, the feeling is that I is being compared to another noun. Yeah, that's what I said with my like someone else went to buy groceries and I went to the bank. So we kind of compare the other person to me. Yeah, here. Yeah, that's exactly. Your girlfriend stayed home. Your girlfriend bought groceries. That was my example. But yeah, that's pretty much the same thing that I said. Okay. Sometimes it creates a different translation, but the end result is the same. Okay, let's see. Before my friend came, I was the person who went to the bank compared to the girlfriend. And here, where we have gar, we don't have this. Yeah, okay, this thing, this I was the person who, yeah, this makes the comparison more apparent. I don't know. So I think I have a pretty good grasp on the difference between those, but I still want to just review this. There was a table. I can definitely remember there was a little table. Here's this one. This not a table, but like a little list for both of them. Compare and general facts. So those are things that I said, and this one is to just realize. Yeah, recent experience. I just experiencing something. That's also what I said. Okay, very good. To stress that the subject does action. Look, for example, this one I didn't have in my head. To stress that the subject does the action. Who likes her? To stress that the subject does the action. Okay. I like her. Okay, I see. I am the class president. Okay, so to stress. Okay, so that's what I forgot. Placed on objects that are predicated by adjectives. Yeah, okay, this is this subject, object, adjective sentence pattern that we learned a bit later. Yeah, I know it's always used here. But that's for objects. We're talking about subjects right now, so this doesn't really matter. Yeah, okay, and this also both talking about objects. Okay, so the only thing that I forgot was the stressing. Yeah, but I think apart from that, I have a pretty good feeling about this thing. Did you see the ring? Yes, I did. This didn't happen super recently. Happened a few months ago, but yeah. I can't even remember when it was. I think it was somewhere around August, I think. Pretty sure August. Yeah, sometimes I'm just forgetting to put it on. So that's why sometimes maybe you don't see it. But I definitely had it on in a lot of streams already. But you're the first one to mention it. I definitely thought someone else will mention it before that. Maybe even in the StarCraft streams. But yeah. Okay. Let's continue, yeah. Almost all of the time when you're making the subclause to go before Johnny. So if we have a subclause that ends in key Johnny, I guess is what he wants to say, IGA will be attached to the subject of that clause. Yeah, we already learned that. Almost all of the time. Before that he said always, not almost always. So the only time this is not the case is when the subject of both clauses is the same. Ah, okay, okay. Okay, so that's something that he didn't mention before, but yeah, okay. Ah, before I came my 8. Okay, so if we don't even have the subject on the main clause. Okay. So to summarize, we can only have one nin or in a sentence with two clauses. And if we do, it must be the main clause. No, wait, that's wrong. We can have only one nin or in a sentence with two clauses. And if we have two subjects, it must be on the main clause. Okay, that's it. If it's only one, we can put it on the subclause. Okay. Remember that Korean people love shortening their sentences. Every chance they get, they want to eliminate something from their sentences. So instead of saying 내가 나는, you only need to say I once. Okay. Also notice that, like a lot of things in Korean, no indication of tense is made before. Yeah, okay. We are putting this to the verb stem anyways, so we don't have a conjugation. We can't conjugate the stem alone. With a conjugation is like an attachment, and we put this attachment on it, so we can't have a conjugation. Instead, the tense is determined by the conjugation of the main clause. Before mom came, I ate. 엄마가 오기 전에 나는 먹었어요. Okay. Always these bots. It's incredible. Okay, many more examples of 기존에. I learned Korean before I came to Korea. Before I came. Okay, 한국에 오기 전에 저는 한국어를 배웠어요. Okay, so here we have the past tense conjugation. Here we have it. And that means that this subclause right here is also past tense. Before I came to Korea, I learned Korean. Okay, okay. After, later. Yeah, so that's it for John, and also a bit of mostly talking about this two clause sentences, subclause, main clause, and stuff on like that. I assume that who is pretty much the same. Let's see. Okay. Just like sentences with John. Okay, when who is placed after verb, it has the meaning of after. We can put 기존에 to the stem. Okay, but here we have a difference. Who, you do not add key to the stem of the word. Instead, you must add n or in. Okay, so that's a difference, yeah? This one was final syllable to consonant, and if it's a vowel, okay, that's normal. After I eat. 내가 먹은 후에. 간 후에. Okay. After my homework is finished, I will go home. 숙제가 끝난 후에 나는 집에 갈 거예요.
숙제가 끝난 후에 나는 집에 갈 거예요.
숙제가 끝난
후에 나는 집에 갈 거예요.
Okay. Interesting. I never noticed that rule. Oh, okay. Yeah, interesting. After I ate, I met a friend. 밥을 먹은 후에 친구를 만났어요. After eating a lot of candy snacks, my stomach was sore. 과자를 많이 먹은 후에 배가 아팠어요. 배가. Okay. Yeah. So here in this sentence, for example, we completely omit any subjects. Like we have not a single subject here. So here we have the first part, the subclause. It only has an object here with candy. Then it has many, so a lot of candies. And then we have the verb here with the attached after. So 먹은 후에. So this one has no subject. So it's not like after I ate a lot of candies. I mean, it's implied, but it's not written out. And the second part where you could have my stomach, like Joe Pega, is also not there. So we do have we obviously do have a subject. Sorry, I said that. But we don't have an I. That's what I meant. We obviously have a subject. We need a subject. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, okay, so it's basically exactly the same thing, except that we have the N or the in instead of the key. So we have to remember that for who. But apart from that, it's completely the same logic. It is also possible to substitute the word talm, next, means next, yeah, talmju. For who after, wait, what? For who to create the same meaning. After my homework is finished, I will go home. Ah, okay. But the rule with the N here, or with the in, here also in, stays the same. We literally just have talm instead of who. Everything else is the same. Talm. Okay. You can see in the vocabulary list that there are also these words. Just before, Jikjon, or right after, Jiku. These two can be used like this. Oh man, this lesson, really, everything is the same except this one little thing about the N or in versus the key. But at least all the different things here, the different words, are basically used in the same pattern. The difference being that the addition of jig emphasis man, sometimes there are English words that I never pronounced before. Emphasis is the noun. Emphasizes. Emphasize. No. Emphasize. I don't know how to pronounce it. Emphasize. Emphasize. Emphasizes. It's crazy.
Emphasize.
Emphasize. Emphasizes. Yeah, emphasizes should be correct. Okay. Yeah, I know what the word means. Just the pronunciation was unclear to me. And of course, hi Jikatos. Yeah, so when something is immediately done before or after the action. So it's yeah, really close to it, I guess. Emphasize. Right before having dinner, he, the son, ate candy snacks. Like right afterwards. No, right before. It's bad to eat candy before eating your normal meal. But he did it exactly right before that. Okay. Adri Wait a second. Right before having dinner. Adri. Because that's the sun. Wow. Adri Jonyok. Jonyok is dinner, I guess. Jonyok, is this not? Yeah, it's evening, right? And it's also used for dinner. Okay. Adri Jonyok Mogi Jikjone. Jikjone. Man, this is really the opposite of fluent. What I read here. Adri Jonyon Mogi Jikjone 과자를 먹었어요. Okay, that was a little bit better.
아들이 저녁 먹기 직전에 과자를 먹었어요.
I don't get why 먹은 후에 instead of 먹는. Because it's not the same as the subject particle. It's just a different particle. You know, when you have adjectives describing the following noun, you also add n or in, and not nin or in, right? For adjectives describing the following noun, you also add this particle. It has nothing to do with the subject particle. Okay, wait, you're talking about... No, it's correct, yeah. Yeah, it's exactly like adjectives describing nouns. Wait, what are you now saying? Red, blue, green, past tense, present, what? So far we have not learned anything about the... we have learned that the tenses are determined by the conjugation of the main clause. Yeah, here I can scroll to the thing again. So this one is the subject particle, but that has nothing to do with the thing. We are looking at this here, like an adjective describing the following noun. I think I have the feeling you guys are talking about different things. Red, blue, green, you're talking about nin or in as a subject particle, while Flo is talking about the in coming after the verb when you add hue. So those are two different things, completely different things. But I still don't get how in makes it past tense. Maybe we'll learn about this. Maybe I should just continue to read. But that feels very weird for me, that the particle you attach decides about the tense. Usually you have the normal tense conjugation on the verb and not on... I mean, it is a verb, yeah, okay, never mind. But what we learned here, let me tense here. The tense, yeah, here no indication of tense is made before. Okay, maybe this is only the case for Johnny, and for who we have a different way to indicate the tense. So here we learned that the tense is just the conjugation of the main clause. So we have the main clause here, mogosoyo, just normal tense conjugation, and that means that the subclause also gets the same tense, okay? So now maybe it's different for who. I guess that's what red, blue, green is referring to. So let's see about that. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Okay, here we are. No, I don't see anything about that. Okay, yeah, nothing about nin or in to indicate the tense. Now I want rice. Thanks, red, blue, green. Okay, yeah, let's continue where I stopped reading. Yeah, I read this one. Okay, one quick thing. In a lot of the example sentences above, I placed ki jone or n or in hue before the main clause of a sentence. It is important to recognize something here. What we are essentially doing is creating a unit that gives us an indication of time. Yeah, the subclause. Okay, and that now he's probably saying it can be anywhere in the sentence, anywhere where a usual indication of time can go. So probably this whole part can come at different parts in the sentence where you can also put other indications of time. That's what I assume is coming now. Yeah, can be placed elsewhere and just like other. Yeah, okay, perfect. Although I often place this indication of time before the clause, it doesn't always need to be there. It is the discretion of the speaker that will decide exactly where to place it. Being able to create a single unit from a clause like this is a quick introduction to what you will begin learning in lesson 26, where you will be able to manipulate wow, manipulate entire clauses to describe nouns in the middle of sentences. Okay. Well, I have to say, the last lesson we did was one of probably the shortest lesson ever. But this lesson here, I even did a review of vocabulary, 28 words or so, in the beginning of today, and we still managed to almost come to the end of this. You can see the scroll bar here, there. We are almost at the end. It's only the since and within missing, and those are not even one screen. About one screen. So, wow, that was a quick lesson. And I don't feel it was too hard. I think it was pretty easy. But we still have not learned about the thing that red, blue, green is saying. I guess we'll learn that in a later lesson then. To decide the tense with the particle. That's interesting. It's lesson 26 you're saying? Okay. Let's do a quick preview. Past tense, future. Yeah, okay, there it is. The place I went. 제가 간 곳. 간 곳. 간 곳. Okay, I see. But I feel that's still a different thing. Like it's not exactly the same thing that we just learned about the before and after. Okay, anyways. That's where the future form Ikoeo comes from. 5-head. Yeah. That's it, yeah. Yeah, interesting. But we have still not finished lesson 25, and I think for today it was enough content already. These quick 2 things. We'll just do them tomorrow. So tomorrow we'll definitely finish this lesson, and that means we will start doing the exercises tomorrow. And then when we have finished lesson 24, it's only one single lesson left to finish unit 1. Oh wait, what? No, I'm 24, sorry. Yeah, it's not the next one. Yeah, I'm 24, sorry. I think I said I'm in 25, right? That's not correct. 24 is now, and next one is 25, and then we have finished unit 1. And then we will do a little break from howtostudykorean.com, and we will not do lesson 26 because I want to just try out some other things. Not because I don't like howtostudykorean.com, but I think it's a good idea to get some variants, just some other things into this stream and into my own personal learning experience as well. Not just do the same thing for 2 years probably. Also mix something up a bit, keep it fresh, keep it interesting, you know. So I have wrote down some things like 1.5 weeks ago. We had some things that we discussed about a different website. Flo sent me 2 things on Discord, and we have a different website. We have we can watch some YouTube videos to try to understand some children tales and so on. We also had something else, I don't know anymore, but yeah, Talk to Me in Korean. I wanted to check that out briefly, do some lessons there, just like go through them and see how the learning experience is from that website. And also we will also, of course, before we do all of this new stuff, we will do the big unit 1 test that is coming. So here you can see we hear all the lessons, and there's a big unit 1 test at the end, which is a test over all of the lessons, lesson 1 to 25. And before we do that, we also found that the YouTube channel of howtostudykorean.com has recap videos for every single lesson. So we'll take a look at those as well. So we have a little bit of other stuff planned after lesson 25. And depending on how good that is, we'll do it just a few days or weeks, maybe a bit longer, maybe a month or 2, I don't know, before we continue with howtostudykorean.com. Probably, I assume I will continue with howtostudykorean.com eventually, but I don't know how long those other things will be in between. So that's it. G. Kratos, you should celebrate finishing with a Broodworm marathon. No. But yeah, you weren't here earlier. I'm only working this week, and from next week on, since it's Christmas time, I I have vacation, I have holidays from work. So that means that I can stream a lot more Brood War even during the week. Obviously not on Christmas or so, but for example on Monday, next Monday, next Tuesday, I will stream StarCraft because I'm not working. Yeah, so also there's another nice cast coming up. Actually next Tuesday on the... Yeah, exactly, on the 22nd. 22nd I have a cast coming up. A big show match between Bonneth and Develt for like $1K, okay? I will cast that with 2 other people, Quark and Snipe. That will be on the Team Think Quick Twitch channel. And on Monday and Wednesday, on the 21st and 23rd, I will stream my personal normal ladder stream. So there is a lot of StarCraft coming, but not now. And of course, my normal stream days, Friday and Sunday, are happening. So next StarCraft stream will be on Friday, as usual. So would be nice if you tune in there. Okay, but that's it for today. I think I've said enough. And tomorrow we'll finish up the grammar for lesson 24 and then do the exercise for lesson 24. So thanks a lot for watching and see you next time. Bye bye. Annyeong.